Welcome to The Explainer. Now, when we think of the Eurovision Song Contests, the images that instantly pop into our heads are usually glitz, glamour, incredibly catchy pop tunes, and, international unity. But lately, there's a bit of a shadow creeping over the stage. Today, we're unpacking the Eurovision exodus, politics, and the cost of song. Let's explore exactly why a growing number of countries are starting to turn their backs on this massive, historically celebrated event.
Okay, let's dive into this. Is the world's biggest music party actually coming to an end? I mean, it seems almost unthinkable. Millions of us tune in every single year for those glittery, totally over-the-top performances. But beneath all that confetti-covered surface, we are witnessing a real, measurable exodus. The perceived unity of the contest is fracturing, and its foundation is being tested like literally never before.
Part 1. The Eurovision Exodus. So this isn't just one isolated incident. We're talking about a structural wave here. We are seeing broadcasters from nations like Romania, Montenegro, and North Macedonia actively expressing major reservations or just withdrawing entirely. Participating national committees are taking a hard look at the realities of the modern contest, from soaring entry fees to intense political backlash, and fundamentally questioning if the benefits of showing up still outweigh the really heavy drawbacks.
Let's move to Part 2 and see how this builds. The financial cost.
The sheer financial costs of participation act as a massive reality check. I mean, think about the extravagance for a second. The intricate pyrotechnics, the massive LED staging, the huge delegations, all of that comes with a colossal price tag. And with the loss of major financial contributors, plus the impact of regional inflation, participation fees for the remaining countries have absolutely skyrocketed. For a lot of national broadcasters who are already facing tight domestic budgets, justifying this massive expense is just becoming mathematically impossible.
Part 3. Politics and cultural divides. And this brilliantly illustrates the delicate balancing act that is frankly tearing at the fabric of the event. On one hand, you have objections that are purely political. We're talking complex geopolitics, like intense debates and boycotts surrounding the inclusion or exclusion of specific nations involved in active global conflicts. But on the other hand, this friction really highlights historical cultural divides across the continent when it comes to progressive social values and regional voting blocs. While the contest was originally designed to bridge these gaps, critics argue that right now, it simply amplifies them.
Because remember, national broadcasters don't exist in a vacuum. They answer to their citizens. When you pair domestic political pressure with intense public opinion polling, like citizens actively protesting the use of public funds for an entertainment event during an economic downturn, or artists threatening boycotts over geopolitical issues, it forces a change. These localized pressures are exactly what turn a theoretical debate into an actual finalized withdrawal.
Part 4. Historical parallels.
Now, what's really interesting about this timeline is that the contest has obviously been around for decades, and this actually isn't the first time participation numbers have fluctuated. In the 1990s and early 2000s, we saw shifting participation as the contest expanded rapidly eastward, which forced major structural changes just to manage the load. Looking at these past issues gives us a really vital sense of proportion. It forces us to ask, is the current exodus just a recurring cycle, or do today's compounded financial and cultural pressures represent an unprecedented crisis?
Part 5. The future of Eurovision.
So the crucial point is trying to figure out, is this temporary or permanent? We have to weigh the data here. Our historical parallels suggest this might just be a temporary blip, right? A storm the contest will eventually weather, just like it adapted to previous eras of expansion. However, the deep-seated structural nature of today's financial costs, coupled with intense cultural divides and undeniable domestic pressures, points pretty strongly toward a permanent, lasting shift in the European broadcasting landscape.
Which leaves us with a truly profound question. What is the future of participation? Will the contest find a way to adapt to these immense pressures, maybe by radically reinventing its format? Or will the exodus just continue to grow, fundamentally altering this global cultural institution forever? It's an incredibly captivating geopolitical dynamic unfolding right before our eyes, and I highly encourage you to keep a close watch on it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.